Hello and welcome to the Django DRF project, eCommerce. This tutorial is part of a series of tutorials which you can watch for free. The link to the YouTube course playlist is in the video description. This course is also available on Udemy, where you can watch the course ad-free, download the tutorial source code, and access all updated tutorials and playlist. The link to the course, which will always provide the best price, can be found in the video description. We have finally got to that point where we can start now talking about DRF, Django Rest Framework. So this tutorial, we go through the first step, setting up DRF in preparation for us to then develop further. So first task, let's go ahead and install Django DRF, the Django Rest Framework. Now you can see that I've navigated back to PyPy, the Python package index, typed in Python or Django Rest Framework, and you can see this is what we're looking for. So Django Rest Framework. Now there is quite a few different similar looking packages, so make sure you find, if you don't have to do it this way, but pip install Django Rest Framework. That's what we need to type in. So I'm going to copy that. So back here in my project, let's just go ahead and just close this server, clear that. I'll just close everything down, start from fresh. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and pip install the Django Rest Framework. So once we've done that, we will then go ahead, and we are in our virtual environment, don't forget. So we will go ahead and just update the requirements file. So let's just double check where we are. So we're in the same directory as the requirements file. So I type in pip freeze and then the requirements file.txt. If you're wondering how that come up so quickly, I press tab and then it just finishes the line of the code. It looks for any files with a similar first letter, for example. Now, if there are two with the same letter, that might not work. So before you press tab, just make sure that you've typed in enough letters so it picks up the only file that starts with those letters. Right, so we've done that. So you pick freeze, and you can see now we have updated the requirements text file, and you can see that we have the Django Rest Framework. Notice that there were some other, maybe there wasn't. Maybe it's just the Django Rest Framework that was installed this time. Now, if you are new again to the Python package index, at this point, it's a simple case. I say simple case. At this point, you're looking for maybe there's a home page here. That's going to take you to the documentation. Now, the Django Rest Framework is an excellent set of documentation. And by all means, spend some time having a look through it. We will be utilizing this a lot now. We're referencing it. So to help you, or to give you a little bit of background reading, should you want to pause anywhere and have a little read through it, the different options, because of course we can't go through this project using every single option. And for one little feature, there may be many different options that might be available, settings for that particular feature. So like I said, I will give you some guidance as we move through this course and let you know and point you towards the documentation when there's maybe some more interesting things to read. Now here we have a few different tutorials. It is fairly limited, the tutorials here, but it does give you all the basic understanding of the REST framework. So we want to start the project. So it does give us an overview here on how to start. And we're simply just going to follow a very similar process here to get started with the Django Rest Framework within our project. So we will need to add the REST framework to our installed app. So let's go into our Django DRF in a folder here, commerce folder, settings, and then the base. And here we're going to add Django Rest Framework. So this is a REST framework. Now, what you might do here for organization, because what you're going to do is you're going to create your own apps and you're going to install these external apps or packages. So you can, for example, just separate them if you like, add a little note here. So for example, these are external packages. And then when we create the apps for this application, we can go ahead and just internal apps, for example, put them under this list here. That's if you want to organize them in this way. So it won't go any further at this point. That's pretty much all that we need to do to get Django DRF installed and prepared. What we can do here at the end of our base setting file is we can just prepare the REST framework constant here. And inside of here, we're going to add some of the different settings that we can change the behavior of the REST framework. So as we move through this project, we'll dip into here and change the settings accordingly.